The creator, Dadari Gakwe, brought us here and put us here from time and beginning. So we've been here for the beginning of time.
The North Coast has an amazing portfolio of natural resources. These are community assets held in trust by and for all Californians. It's just really an extraordinary part of the world.
I moved here from Nevada in '69. I love the land, I love the trees, everything about being here. And so this is where I wanted to raise a family.
I've been a resident of Humboldt County for about 35 years. I love to fish. I love the waters. Ever since I was a kid, and I didn't live here, I lived in the Bay Area, I sort of dreamt and fantasized about steelhead and the mystery and the majesty of these fish.
Lived on the North Coast about 20 years. One of the main reasons I came here was because of its diversity of habitats, of recreational opportunities, the critters. It's just stunningly beautiful.
You're standing on the very first piece of property that my great-grandfather bought on January 9th, 1884. 160 acres that he paid $250 gold coin for. We grew up fishing on the creeks and hunting and working. Lots and lots of work from the time we were young. The family pitched in and did everything.
I've just always been a country person, I think, and an animal lover, and there's not much else I can say about that. It's life. It's our life, my life.
My great-grandfather leased property to run cows and dairy heifers. We've basically been here since 1917.
It's just a really unique piece of property. It has lots of microclimates, streams and fish, and it's got a lot of history too.
Through turns of events, Jackie and I and her mom now own the ranch. And it's wonderful, a wonderful way of life. And properties like this need to stay in production to sustain our local economy and, provide good resources. We're working on the conservation easement to keep it a working ranch. Keep it so it's sustainable for my grandkids and on down the line.
My people came here in 1898. This ranch, or the main part of it, was bought with 5 gold pieces.
We're hoping that our children will be the 6th generation.
I have 100 years of collected knowledge about this particular piece of ground. And what we're looking at is how can we create a stream of income that allows us to have a living for not just this year or next year, but 10 or 20 years from now.
It's here. You have to take care of it. You don't make anything off it if you don't take care of it. You have to somehow figure out, how to make a profit out of some of the projects.
The new people who come in don't know the history, and they're excited. They've got their first piece of green patch of earth that's theirs, that they can build on and stuff, but they don't know how it is going to impact our community at large.
It's very important that private owners buy into this concept of stewardship. And I think most of them do. I really do. I think they love their land. They want it to be productive. They want it to be in sync with nature.
I think most private landowners have a great deal of interest in managing for diversity and for the critters, as well as for their other personal or economic reasons.
We're more interested in the end result on our land we are in the quantity and economics of the logging job. Timber harvest plans in 1989 cost me about $400 a piece. Now the same timber harvest plan on the same piece of property would cost me $50,000.
Regulation was important and was necessary to correct some of the land management practices of the past. However, I think we're at this really odd place where the fulcrum has swung. The increased cost is such that we have to mine the resource more heavily than we want to from a stewardship and sustainability perspective.
For the turn of the century, when my family came here, they had 4 or 5 employees. 100 to 120 years later, that same resource will not support a family and put kids in college.
2 years ago, 3 years ago, we topped the cattle market. This year we hit it at the absolute bottom. I don't think we've ever got that as little as we had this year. Same with timber. This year, if we cut anything down, I don't think we could give it away. There's just no market for it.
The carrying capacity of the ranches hasn't changed in 100 years. It's what it is. It's not like you can ramp it up and say, well, we'll run twice as many cows. You only have so much grass. You can only run so many cows.
The history of the resources is that they've been decimated completely twice for family buyouts, and we don't want to see that again.
When we maintain and protect private lands, we're maintaining, protecting, and restoring a whole slew of environmental services. These include flood control, drinking water, of course, habitat for fish and wildlife and wildflowers.
I think the general public benefits much more than the individuals on the property, because we get the benefit of this beautiful landscape forever.
You know, you drive out here and you see this landscape, and you think, boy, those guys must be rich. Well, I guess we are if we sold it. I don't look at our ranch as an asset. An asset is something that you're willing to liquidate, and I'm not willing to liquidate it.
If it doesn't stay in my family that really loves it, it's more than likely going to be subdivided and broken up into small pieces.
When I subdivided part of the ranch, and I experienced grief. It's like, guilt to the family that sold the property to us originally.
My grandfather would roll over in his grave if I subdivided. He built this place, and it's my responsibility to carry it on.
If we can work together, the private landowner, the community, and the government can work together so that those who have been taking care of the land remain still taking care of the land.